What's up, guys? I'm DK Wrestler, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a top 10 list of my favorite Funko Pop announcements for the month of August 2024. It's actually pretty crazy that summer is pretty much over now, and there was a lot of Funko Pops to go through to where it was kind of difficult for this list, but I managed to make one, so let's get right to it. So coming in at number 10 on my list, it is the Chalice Collectibles exclusive Dark Magician Girl for the Yu-Gi-Oh lineup. Of course, I am looking to get a 100% set of Yu-Gi-Oh pops into my collection. I'm about less than 10 away realistically with the new ones that have come out as of late. And this pop is pretty decent with, of course, Dark Magician Girl doing one of her attacks realistically, and the colors obviously look nice. However, with the Yu-Gi-Oh lineup, this is now, I believe, the third, maybe the fourth Dark Magician Girl pop that we have gotten, because of course there's the OG, and then there was the one that was released last year for New York Comic Con, which I attained both of them, and it just kind of ticks me off the fact that even though there's a lot of the newer Yu-Gi-Oh that have been made as of late, every time I've been wishing for something from like OG Yu-Gi-Oh, they just end up making remakes. Coming in at number 9 on my list, it is the Funko Shop exclusive Ghost Butthead from Beavis and Butthead. Now, I was really excited to see the brand new lineup of Beavis and Butthead pops get announced, and I was really surprised to see this variant of Butthead as a pop. This is very detailed, with obviously being locked up in the shackles there. He's in more of a flying pose because he's trying to escape, and the colorway of the different two shadings of blue is really nice. And I'm not surprised that they made this an exclusive, because I don't think that this is going to sell well as a common. Coming in at number 8 on my list is the Chalice Collectibles exclusive General Frankie from One Piece. Now, I don't know much about One Piece. I know it's a very popular anime, and it seems to be Funko's like #1 licensor when it comes to anime, but there's something about it where the detail is really nice with the whole what looks to be robotic-y effect, the way they pulled off the arms and the body, and especially the head mold involving the drill. And there is also the chase version where it is glow in the dark, and from what I'm looking at so far, I love how it's not just the blue aspect of the pop, and that it's also the majority of the face that glows in the dark also. And I couldn't really decide whether it would be specifically the chase or the common taking this number 8 spot, but realistically it could be either or. Coming in at number 7 on this list is Triceraton for the TMNT Funko Series 2 NFT set. Now, I really enjoyed the way that this looks, and especially it is a character that has never been transformed into a Funko Pop before, and the only way Funko has done a product of Triceraton was in Dorbs back in the day. So it's really cool when Funko and Drop do these sets, and that there's a new character to get, and it makes it so limited and more sought after because that's the only way you can get it. And in case you were wondering, I did do actually a 2-part video of opening up packs of the TMNT Series 2 Funko NFTs. We did that on Wednesday and Thursday. You guys definitely should check that out because I had a blast opening up those packs. And did we get a Triceraton? You're gonna have to watch the video and find out. Coming in at number 6 on my list is the JJ and Syndrome from the Incredibles lineup. And in case you're wondering, yes, I know that it's Jack, but it actually shows right on the box JJ and Syndrome, so I am technically saying it correctly. This is actually a pretty sweet looking pop. Of course, this is actually like the first Syndrome Funko Pop we have gotten since the OG Syndrome that came out in the early days of Disney Funko Pops in like 2011, 2012. So it's really awesome for the fans who are not only a fan of Disney, but more specifically the Incredibles, that you can actually get a Syndrome Pop at a more affordable price. And I love the detail with the facial expression going on with Syndrome and of course Monster Jack itself, because this is the scene near the end of the movie where they're in the sky, and this is where we discover that Jack does indeed have superpowers. Coming in at number 5 on my list is Uncle Buck from, of course, Uncle Buck. John Candy is one of those actors that I feel like deserves more Funko Pops. In the past, we did get John Candy's character from Cool Runnings, but there was those movies that we know of with John Candy that hadn't been made into pop form until now, starting off with the Uncle Buck, which is a movie I remember watching as a kid, and I think they did an excellent job with this pop, and especially with the drill in his hand is the exact moment I would have thought of for an Uncle Buck pop. And so I feel like those hardcore movie fans are super excited about this, and because this is something we've been wanting for a long time is why I think it deserves to crack the top 5 portion of this list. Coming in at number 4 on this list is the Neil Page Cage and Del Griffith 2-pack from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. This is continuing on with the fact of another movie of John Candy's, and I guess in this case Steve Martin's, that deserved to be immortalized into Funko Pop form, and people have been wanting it for such a long time. And I can't say that people have been wanting it for years. I feel like people have been wanting it for over a decade at this point. And so the detail on both of these pops are awesome, especially the way that the John Candy looks with the facial expression and kind of the pinkish rosy cheeks that he's got going on in the pop. That makes it look so awesome, and I think that's why I like this 2-pack more than I like the Uncle Buck. Coming in at number 3 on my list is Abby for the new wave of Sesame Street Pops. Now this is really awesome. I love the fact that we're getting a new wave of Sesame Street Pops, which of course includes the Alistair Cookie Monster of the Monster Piece Theater, the Elmo and Tangle Pop and Buddy, and the Big Bird in Nest Pop Deluxe. And the reason I chose Abby is because of the fact that it is a brand new character, while we have seen pops of all 3 of the characters I mentioned of Cookie Monster, Elmo, and Big Bird. Especially this year already, having seen the Elmo on Trike rides for TargetCon and the Elmo and Rocco about a month back at San Diego Comic-Con. I think the detail of Abby looks really awesome with the different colors and especially the posing involved with her. I think it's a character that deserved to be a part of this new wave of Sesame Street Funko Pops. Coming in at number 2 on this list is Matt Foley from Saturday Night Live. I have been waiting for Funko to make this pop for such a long time. There was the original wave of Saturday Night Live pops that featured the Will Ferrell cowbell moment. We of course had the in a box multi-pack. There was a lot of cool moments, but the one that I felt was left out was of course Matt Foley and Living in a Van Down by the River. Matt Foley, the motivational speaker, portrayed by my favorite actor of all time, Chris Farley. And they did such an awesome job. And of course, they did the posing of living in a van down by the river. And it's just, everything about this pop is amazing. And I'm going to 100% for sure have to buy this pop. And like usual for these videos, before I mention my number 1 pick, I'm going to be talking about a few honorable mentions. So the first honorable mention I have on this list is the Carnage set. Now I am a pretty big fan of Carnage. He's like one of my top 3 favorite Marvel characters, but I feel like the idea of basically a Venomized set but based off of Carnage now is a little bit unnecessary. This set of course has the Black Panther, Ghost Spider, Iron Man, and Captain America, and although some of them look pretty decent in their own way, it kind of makes me want to get these pops because I like Carnage, but at the same time I feel like it is a little bit unnecessary. Honorable mention number 2 on this list is the new Tony the Tiger with cereal. Now of course Tony the Tiger is one of my favorite ad icons. I do like Frosted Flakes, and I kind of like the idea of Tony the Tiger holding a bowl of Frosted Flakes cereal. They have done that a few times already with Cornelius with the bowl of cornflakes, and then they did that for the retro lineup with Coco the elephant, I believe the name. I can't even remember the elephant's name, but they've been doing this trend a lot where they take an ad icon holding a bowl of cereal. Oh yeah, Dig'em Frog, but of course the worst ad icon possibly ever made, so I totally forgot about that. But I digress. I think that this would be a pretty cool pop, especially if you couldn't obtain any of the OG Tony the Tiger pops. And then the last honorable mention on this list is the brand new wave of the Incredibles. Of course, I had mentioned about the Jack and Syndrome Pop and Buddy, I guess it would be earlier on the list, but the rest of the list definitely deserves some recognition, especially when you have a newer version of the classic suit Mr. Incredible that once again you can only get actually as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I believe limited to 480 pieces. So most people probably can't obtain that unless you have a fat stack of cash just randomly laying around. So it's really cool that they made one for more of an affordable price. Overall, I do enjoy this set, especially for the 20th anniversary of this movie happening this year. And coming in at number 1 on my list, it is Cornholio for the Beavis and Butthead lineup. This is another one of those pops that I've been wanting for such a long time, since basically I started collecting Funko. And I honestly kind of flipped back and forth on whether I wanted to make this number 1 or make the Matt Foley pop number 1. But I think as terms to the detail of this pop, there is a little bit more, especially with the way they did the eyebrows, and especially the rare occurrence with Funko Pops to add a mouth onto this pop. And I feel like if they didn't add a mouth to this pop, not only would this pop not be number 1, but probably be maybe mid or closer to the bottom of the list. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's top 10 list of my favorite pops for August 2024, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your favorites down below, and I hope to see you guys in the next video on the channel. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.